Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Essential Sports Pod.
Ooh,
We're sorry about last week. Technical difficulties didn't couldn't record the episode. But we're back. 2 episodes this week. Yeah,
yep. Double trouble this week.
double trouble.
Let's go.
So this first episode this week, we're just gonna go over the month of April, not just Cardinals. We're gonna talk about player of the months in each league, conference, the pitcher of the month, rookie of the month, reliever of the month, and then we're just gonna get into some players that have caught our eyes.
Yes, sir.
So, without further ado, I think we should just get right into it and start with the American League Player of the Month, Matt Chapman. What you guys been seeing from him?
Dude, well, first I like to say that him and Arenado were teammates in high school. I would not want to face those boys, like at all. But yeah, bro, Matt Chapman definitely deserves it. If you look at his baseball savant page, like all his numbers are just like through the roof. Like hitting good, seeing the ball well. Every time he puts it in play, it's getting hit hard, hitting it all over the field. Uh, yeah, that Blue Jays team is good. You don't really expect for him to be at the top of the list as far as their best players with Vladdy and like Bo Bichette, but he's been on fire, man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
oh,
I
you got
mean,
it.
yeah, I mean, leading all hitters in OPS, WRC plus, and F4. I mean, yeah, Chapman's been all over the place. It's been great.
I think
Yeah,
it's he's been playing unbelievable. I mean, yeah, he's got a WRC plus of 219. Average is
yeah,
100, and then the FWAR 2.0 is insane. Honestly, he also is hitting 372, and he's on base about half the time with 459.
yeah,
Um, and something that caught my eye that I really liked is his hard hit rate is 67.1%, and the average is
yeah.
34%. So he's not just hitting singles and stuff. He's hitting it hard, and they could be singles, but he's squaring them up.
Yeah, I'm looking at his baseball savant page. His average exit velo, ex woba, barrel percentage, hard hit rate, slugging percentage are all at the 100 percentile. So that just means he's absolutely locked in right now. Like he's hitting he's hitting 349 with 434 OBP and then an OPS over 1,000, That's an MVP season right there. So yeah, if he keeps it up, he's definitely in the MVP conversation.
Yeah, he's in the top 1% of exit velocity when he hits the ball.
Yeah.
So that's insane.
And he's known for his glove. Like he's a very good defensive
Yeah.
third baseman. So he's just been on the MVP level to start the season, definitely.
And also, I mean, I wouldn't say it was expected, uh, like these numbers to be here, but I mean, he's always been good. I mean, last season he was pretty good. I'm pretty sure he got a Player of the Month last season as well, towards the end, or maybe in the middle of the season. So, hey, Matt Chapman just doing his thing.
Yeah, man.
So,
Props to him.
moving on to the other side, to the National League, Player of the Month, Ronald Acuna Jr. Very exciting player, especially
Yeah.
running those bases. He's got 13 stolen bases. Yeah, what do you guys think? What you guys looking at?
I think I think what I really think of is this season there was a lot of rule changes with MLB, a lot like bigger bases and pitch clock and stuff like that. And I think when you think of those rules, you think of him as someone that can really capitalize off something like that, like having the bigger bases and stuff. He's a five-tool guy, so that'll give him more reason to run. He hits the ball to all fields. He's super exciting player, has a good arm, good power, good speed. So just a full package, and he's putting it all together this month so far.
Yeah, I think obviously we've known him for his offensive capabilities from the batter's box, but I think the and maybe it is the rule changes that contributed to it, but I think the addition of being able to steal bases like this is a really good addition to his game.
Yeah, over his first 6 seasons, he's averaged a 281 average, 374 on base, and a OPS of 894. And in this first month, his OPS is all the way at 982. So he was already known to be a great hitter, but he's been better than what he has been. Like
Yeah,
the the exit velos all are above 95%, barrel rate at 87, which is lower than the other numbers, but still obviously elite. He hasn't been striking out a lot from what I'm seeing. And when you have a guy like that, he's seeing the ball well. He's very dangerous, and he's a good outfielder too. So
Yeah, that arm's
yeah,
crazy out there.
yeah.
Yeah, he's number
yes,
2 in stolen bases right now with 15, counting the 2 he got in May. Um, and yeah, I mean he's people like him, and also I look at Corbin Carroll, who is, I mean it is technically his rookie season, but he did play a little bit last season. Um, so I think all these guys who are super fast, like Tommy Edman as well, they're
yeah,
benefiting from these big bases because you know, I mean, it's 4 inches less that you got to run, and that's, I mean, baseball is a game of, I feel like it's millimeters at times, maybe even less than
yeah,
that. So yeah,
I think also the pickoff rule is really underrated. You know, like if you take your lead and the pitcher throws, goes to pick you off, then he can't for the rest of that at bat. So I mean, it's like you bait the one pickoff, and then I would just take like a massive lead. Next. I feel like we're gonna see some crazy stolen base numbers this year.
oh yeah, absolutely, and that's what the fans wanted to see.
Mm-hmm.
Like baseball was kind of getting to a point where it was like home run or bust, and I know chicks dig the long ball, but you know, for the fans like us, we love to see the stolen bases and the outfield assists and like people being more active on the base pass and pitchers like having to lock in and stick to a game plan. I think it's good.
yeah, I think honestly, I mean, I think it's done way more good than bad with these changes. I mean, obviously,
Yeah.
people. I mean, I feel like it's more the older generation that don't really appreciate the road changes. But
Yeah.
you gotta adapt to people not, especially the younger generation, not being as concentrated like on something for as long. So easily get distracted. So I think more more excitement and more
Yeah.
movement and all more hits, more home runs, and shorter games too.
Yeah.
I think it's good.
Yeah. One thing I wanted to say was like with rule changes and stuff like that, people are always going to be like, I don't like this," before like they actually see it come to fruition. Because I remember a while ago, and I remember they were talking about it on the broadcast last night when I was watching the Cubs and Cardinals game. Like a few years ago, we didn't have all the nets and stuff like in foul territory, and like when the Nets came around, people were like, "Oh, we're not going to be able to see like the game." Blah 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 blah. Like, and now everyone loves it. So just give people time. People always hate the rule until they just adapt. So yeah,
Yeah, the thing is like they've had these rules, but not just like
yeah,
just in the minor leagues, and
hmm
I've personally never heard any complaints or anything from either the players or like accounts that I follow of minor league teams.
right,
And I mean,
exactly,
yeah, like you said, I think just gotta give them time. I feel like next year it'll be like nothing happened and it's just normal.
exactly.
Maybe even by half the season because I recently I watched something. It might have been on Twitter or something that like the number of clock pitch violations has like gone down drastically after 1 month of play. Um, so I think it's also the players getting used to it as well pretty quickly.
Yeah, I agree.
So moving on to the pitchers of the months. American League Pitcher of the Month, Garrett Cole. Um, Personally, I know that Addison. I feel like I don't think Addison's a big fan of Garrett Cole. Uh, so I want to hear from Addison on this one first.
Well, I mean, we know Garrett Cole's a stud. Like, I I respect his game. Although I do throw up a little asterisk on him because after the sticky stuff ban last year, we saw his spin rate drop off exponentially. So it was like, all right, buddy, like clearly you were on the stuff. I think he's a cheater, but obviously we got pitch checks now, and he's dominating still. So you kind of got to tip the cap to him. Um, I think uh, I think he does get a little rattled, which would annoy me if I was a Yankee fan. Like right now, he's not giving up runs, which is great. But like every time I seem to watch him, and he gives up like 1 or 2 runs, all of a sudden he's giving up like 6 runs because it just gets to him. And I don't know. I think that would drive me a little crazy if I was a Yankees fan. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Also, wasn't he on the Astros team that cheated, or am I like thinking?
Garrett Cole. Where did Garrett Cole
I mean,
come
I
from?
don't.
No, I thought he was on the Cleveland teams.
No, he was on the Astros for a while.
He
Yeah,
was
he
on the
was.
Astros.
Yeah.
See, man, that's what I'm saying. I don't,
Yeah. So that's what when I heard you say cheater, I thought of the Astros, and I'm like, oh, him in the Astros jersey. But
mhm.
yeah, he's been lights out. Like you said, he's a top of the rotation guy. I think is even more impressive that pitchers can even do good in Yankee Stadium, given how small the field is. Like,
True.
um, I feel like I feel like you got to give props to them for that. But looking at his stats, he has a 2.09 ERA, 101 WHIP, and he has 51 in his pitch, and he's striking out. He struck out 58 guys. So that looks like a pretty good K rate to me. I feel like he strikes out a lot of guys. Uh, Very hard to hit, throws hard as a starter. That's always a plus. So
Yeah, in the month of April, only let up 5 runs in
yeah,
34 innings, which is that's insane.
that's filthy. Yeah, that's filthy.
And he also had it one complete game, which that doesn't usually
Mhm.
happen anymore because players get pulled when like even under 100 pitches nowadays. Um,
Right.
so that's kind of rare to see. So probably had a really
Especially
good game.
yeah, especially when you're throwing as hard as he does. I feel
Right.
like that would be more of a reason for the manager to pull him. But hey, props to him, man. He's doing great so far.
Yeah. As a starting pitcher, having an opponent batting average of 172 is also insane.
Yeah.
Um, so moving on to the National League pitcher of the month, Clayton Kershaw.
Yeah.
Seems like this guy just doesn't age, man. My God, he's still insane. He doesn't throw hard at all, but he's just really good at putting it where he wants it. Um, Pitched 38 innings, only let up 8 runs. He also had a opponent batting average of 175. And yeah, he struck out 41 to his 5 walks. It's insane.
Yeah. The game that he pitched against us, he was carving us up. I think he had like 7 innings and he only allowed 2 hits. So
Yeah, he had a
yeah, man,
perfect. I'm pretty sure he had a perfect game at like the fifth.
yeah, yeah, Hall of Famer, man. Like you gotta give him his props. He stayed with one team. He's not super flashy. He just goes out there, goes about his business. He's been doing it for so long, you know. Like you said, it feels like he doesn't age at all. He's 35 and is still at the top of his game. The last few seasons have been kind of worse than where they were for him, but before that, like he was maybe one of the best pitchers in history as far as stats. So him kind of showing people that he still got it at this age is what's impressive to me.
Yeah, Kershaw is for me. He's like the flip side of Garrett Cole. Like I've always loved Kershaw's game. I think he's probably my favorite pitcher from that sort of generation. Those kind of or his age group, like the guys like Verlander and Scherzer,
Yeah,
Kershaw, like that generation of pitchers. I think it's been Kershaw because I think he's kind of the opposite of Garrett Cole. Like you know, the guy you've never heard. I've never heard anyone say a bad thing about Kershaw. You know,
yeah,
like Scherzer's teammates are like, this guy's crazy. Like, he's like a psychopath, and like Zach Greinke's teammates kind of the same way. Like, I've never heard anyone say a bad thing about Clayton Kershaw, and I don't know. I just always liked him. I'm glad that he's kind of having a little resurgence here. I think that's awesome.
yeah. I'm looking at his baseball savant page. The only things that are in the blue for him is fastball velocity, which is of course expected with Kershaw, and then his curveball spin, which is surprising to me, but he still gets so much swing and miss on the curveball because it's just so filthy. So yeah, man, he got a 93% chase rate, so batters are expanding the zone. I feel like the at bat is uncomfortable versus him because of the little high leg kick, and then you don't really know what he can throw. He can throw everything for a strike. So, yeah, man, Hall of Famer.
Yeah, hopefully, just with Clayton, I feel like he just needs to stay healthy because, I mean, at this point of the season, he's already pitched a third of what he's pitched like each of the last two seasons. Because last two seasons he's got 125 innings pitched in each one. Uh, I mean, he still had a 2.28 ERA last season, but I mean, if he could just stay healthy and pitch a little more than that, I think I think it'd be
Yeah.
great.
Also, one last thing about him, his last two starts, it looked like he's been getting hit a little bit. Uh, oh, okay, never mind. Okay. He had one bad outing against the Padres, gave up 4 runs and four. Okay, that's decent. That's decent.
That's tough though, because that's the Padres. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, yeah, of course.
All right, we'll go into the rookie of the month. On the American League side, it was Josh Jung. I don't know how
I
to.
think it's Young.
Oh, it's
Yeah, I
Young.
think it's
Okay,
I think
young.
it's
really?
Young.
I think
Okay,
it's
Yeah.
young.
okay, interesting. My fault on that. Um, he has, I mean, his average and on base percentage isn't crazy. I mean, he's hitting 278 with a 327 on base percentage, but he did lead all American League rookies in home runs with 6, and most among all rookies in RBIs with 21. Um, Actually, he also led the AL rookies in hits and in total bases. So, I mean, he's getting at bats. Honestly, I mean, if he's not hitting that much and he's still leading and all those things, I mean, seems like he's playing out there
Yeah,
every day. He's doing pretty good.
yeah. I think no, actually, I know so. The Texas Rangers, they've been doing good this year. They're 21-13 so far this year. Looks like he's kind of a middle of the order guy for them. Being a run producer, slugging a lot. Slash line is 252, 299 on base percentage, which you would hope would go up, but his slugging is 488, which is close to 500, which is very good. So yeah, it looks like he's barreling up a lot of baseballs and hitting the ball fairly well. His whiff rate is not too good, and defense doesn't look the best. But hey, he's a rookie, man. He's 25. He's showing promise so far.
Yeah, Young's been one of the guys that has kind of been on my radar coming up through the minors. I think we saw a little bit of him last year Maybe I could be wrong on that. Um, but I've just liked him because I think his swing looks just so effortless. Like he's just tearing the cover off of baseballs, but like it doesn't even look like he's swinging that hard. Like
Yeah.
yeah, he hammers baseballs. It's pretty awesome, and I'm glad to see that he's producing at the major league level.
Yeah, man. He got drafted in 2019 and it's only 2023, obviously. So he still has room to grow, but when you're barreling up the baseball and you're every time you do hit it, you're hitting it hard, like can't complain about that, especially from a rookie on a winning team. So yeah, man, I think he's very deserving of it so far.
Agreed. Moving on to the National League Rookie of the Month. At the start of the season, I kind of hoped it was my guy Jordan Walker, but we all know what happened there. Um,
Yeah,
it is Rookie of the Month for the National League is James Outman from the LA Dodgers. He hit
yeah,
289 in April with 366 on base percentage. Had 6 home runs and WRC plus of 164, which is top 15 among all hitters, not just rookies. Um,
yeah.
and he also had an OPS in the top 15. So yeah, it is a rookie on the pretty much. I'm pretty sure he's an everyday player for the Dodgers now. Um,
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
he's in that 5-6 hole every day. Every day, so he's doing pretty good for himself.
Yeah, I'm looking at him. Well, first feeling that I get from him, he's exactly what they wanted from Cody Bellinger, and they're getting the discounted version, but the better version at the same time. Out of him,
yeah.
uh, he his on base percentage is at 367. So to me, that's saying that he's getting his walks, and also while slugging over 570, which is insane. Like that's like a MVP level slugging. Also, his sprint speed is rated at 86, and his arm strength is rated at 93. So he has been one of the best center fielders in baseball so far, based on what I'm seeing. Um, hitting it everywhere. His hit chart looks pretty good. Um, yeah, man, he looks good. I've heard about him through the system for a while now, so I'm excited that he's finally up and showing what he can do because he's a good player.
I think it totally kind of caught me by surprise. I think if you had told me at the beginning of the season that Dodger was going to win Rookie of the Month, but it wasn't going to be Vargas or Bobby Miller, I'd have called you crazy. Um, he kind of he was not really on my radar. I guess coming into the season, but absolutely torched the Cardinals. I know that in the
Yeah,
series against
Thanks,
them, but
Cardinals.
yeah, I mean it's been kind of it's been good for the Dodgers. I think your Cody Bellinger comparison is great. I think Bellinger, it's one of those guys like I wish he would bounce back from that injury. I hope he can. He seems to be having a decent year in
yeah,
Chicago right now, which
yeah,
has been really good to see. I was a big fan of him coming out um, his rookie year, but um, yeah. So I mean, if we can see another like prime Cody Bellinger talent, I think that'll be really fun to watch.
yeah. Actually, Cody Bellinger has been very similar to James Outman. Cody Bellinger right now has a 920 OPS, and Outman, I believe, had a 937. It's just Cody Bellinger got paid by the Cubs, I think 18 million per year, and Outman is a rookie, so he's on rookie type contract. So getting that little bit better production from the cheaper guy, you know, that worked for the Dodgers. But of course, the Cubs aren't lacking with what they got either. So yeah, it's been good for both of them, honestly.
Yeah. So moving on to the American League reliever of the month, Felix Bautista. Um, He's pitched, well, in the month of April, he pitched 12.2 innings, only let up 1 run. Um, the opponent's own base average is 152. Oh, batting average is 152. Sorry about that. And he also, something that stood out to me is he is striking, the strikeout percentage is 42.6, which is top 1% of the league.
Growth.
Uh, so he's pretty much striking people out half the time they come up to the plate. And his whiff rate is also 46.4%, um, which is also insane because the average is 23.3. Um, so yeah, he's been lights out, it seems like.
Yeah, I'm looking at it. He's pitched 15.2 so far this year, and he struck out 29 guys. So that's pretty filthy. But uh, I think this is his second season in the MLB, and he's always been known to be a strikeout guy. And having that in the back of your bullpen is just always ideal. Um, yeah, he throws hard. He gets a lot of whips on his pitches. Can't really barrel him up. It seems like he struggles sometime with his command, but when guys are whiffing at the pitches, that can kind of make up for some of the control when the ball looks like it's gonna come in the zone and it just doesn't. So yeah, also he's 6'8", 285 pounds. Like that can be a comfortable at
Yeah,
bat.
he's huge.
So yeah, good for him, man. Come on to the Cardinals.
Yeah, I
No, but
think. Go
yeah.
ahead.
I was just gonna say I was just playing, but go ahead.
I think he was another guy that I really wasn't. Well, I really wasn't paying attention to the Orioles very much. I thought they had a pretty solid season last year, and I thought they would certainly be in line for a little bit of improvement with a full year of Adley Rushman. But they come out hot this year. They are really, they're really getting it done up there in Baltimore. So, yeah, I mean, it's great, well deserved.
Yeah, just myself, I have been paying attention to the Orioles a little bit. Not really like the players and their stats, but just like them as a franchise overall, because we know they've been bad for so long, like so long. And last year they overperformed last year. They were on the cusp of the playoffs. I don't think they made it, but the fact that they were even competitive was showing that they were turning things around, and they got guys like Adley, you said, and Santander and Austin Hayes and Felix Bautista. And yeah, also, Fran, I wanted to say, us following Jack on Snapchat, he's an Orioles fan.
Yep.
So yeah, kind of been seeing it from his lens too. But yeah, they've been good so far this year.
Yeah, always good to see a team that's been struggling lately to pick it back up, especially last season when they exploded, uh, which seemed like
Yeah,
they were gonna make it to the playoffs at one point in the season, but unfortunately fell short. Um,
American League is tough.
yeah. So moving on to the last one, the National League reliever of the month, Josh Hader, who really struggled last season. He also got traded to the Padres last season in the middle, which seemed like a crazy move by the Brewers. But I mean, I guess it was a good move in the moment, but now it seems like it's coming back to bite them. Um, so he pitched 13 innings, only let up 1 run. Um, he had 10 save opportunities and saved each one of them. Uh, It's the MLB best 10. He has 10 saves, which is MLB best. And his opponent batting average is .093. So what you guys seen from Judge Hader?
I mean, yeah, I think he's getting back to what he was, with the Brewers. Like you said, he struggled last year, but everyone knows when Josh Hader is on and when his stuff is where it needs to be, he's very good. Like that delivery is very deceptive, and lefties in general aren't hard to pick up in the first place. So Yeah, he has the most saves, which I feel like that could have been predicted just based on like his stature, like him being one of the best relievers in baseball. Um, yeah, looking at his numbers, everything looks good so far. Guys aren't really slugging off of him. They're not hitting the ball hard off of him. He's striking out a lot of guys. He's getting a lot of guys to whiff. Fastball velocity is at the 87 percentile, which is pretty good. Obviously, it's not the max, but you don't need the max velocity, you know? So, yeah, man, one of the best relievers in baseball. I think he's kind of proving people wrong. People love to hate on the Padres because, the Padres love themselves, like, and they think they're going to be the World Series champions. So, people love to hate on the Padres when they don't do good, but good for him, man. Good for him, shutting them down.
Yeah, I think as Cardinals fans, we've known that Josh Hader's been that guy for a long time. And I was happy that he got traded out of our division. It'd be great if he could have gone
Right.
to the AL. But yeah, I mean, I think it was a weird season last year seeing Josh Hader not be on point like he normally is. But I'm glad to see he's bounced back. At least you don't know really why guys have down years or random off years, but some guys they can't get back to where they were because of that mental hump to get over, and I'm glad that he's able to bounce back from that.
Yeah, like you got to think about it like this. These guys are humans, and he went through so much last year. Like being traded, the Brewers were contending last year, and they decided to trade him, which I know that couldn't have been good for his morale. Like thinking, why did I get traded? I think they were trying to sustain long term success, like use the Cardinals model. And I'm not sure how the pieces have been doing that they got back in the trade, but for the Padres side, yeah, obviously they're reaping the benefits of picking them up. Uh, yeah, man, he's just human. And also another thing, like relievers don't get a lot of innings. Like when you really think about it, at the end of the year, they might get like 60, 70 innings. And if seven of those innings go really bad, then that can really look very bad on them. But he's showing he is that guy right now. So
Yeah, I mean, as he's always been, I'm glad he's back to where he used to be. Always hate seeing players struggle, obviously, especially
right.
Arenado right now. But he's getting back. He's getting back.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, a little bit.
so we're gonna go into a little intermission. Move on to our confidence meter uh, segment. So we'll be right back. All right, hello everybody. Welcome back. Um, we are gonna do our confidence meter segment. This episode, we're gonna go over all these players we just talked about and how confident we are that they can keep these numbers up. So
Yeah,
let's go back up to the top and start out with Matt Chapman. I honestly would give him a 4. Um, I mean, I think he's that guy. He's definitely top third baseman in the league. He showed that last season. He's showing it this season. Um, yeah, I fully expect him to keep up hitting the ball hard and getting on base.
yeah, I'm right there with you. I would have to say a four. Also, I'm not sure that he'll like continue to tear the cover off the ball like he has. Like I'm sure things will kind of start to come down slightly, but on the flip side, he's still a very good defensive third baseman. He's still a very good player. So you can't really just say you expect him to just start doing worse. Yeah, he started his career with Oakland, was a very good player for them, and then he got the big contract with the Blue Jays. Kind of been rocky to start off, but uh, um, good. And then one last point: the Blue Jays. I don't know. if you guys noticed, but they changed the dimensions of their field. Like the outfield wall is like so much closer now. Like yes, it's like basically Yankee Stadium. Like I think left field is like 328. I was like, what? Like, but yeah, so maybe he will keep it up if he's playing in that small of a ballpark. But yeah, I'll probably say 4.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I think a 4 is pretty good with him. I think obviously we always see guys start off really hot, and then once you get into the dog days, and it's like July, August, you'll see guys kind of start to settle down a little bit.
Yeah,
Um, but I mean, I think barring anything major happening, I don't see why he wouldn't keep this going.
yeah. Also, I just looked at the dimensions. The lines are 328, center field is 400, and then in between those is 375. So they definitely made the park smaller,
Huh.
which is
Yeah,
interesting,
but
which can definitely help the offensive guys. But yeah,
yeah, not trying to take anything away from Matt Chapman, obviously.
yeah, yeah,
No.
definitely not, definitely not.
But yeah, moving on to he's usually one of my favorite players every year, Ronald Acuna Jr. I mean,
Yeah,
I don't know if I'd expect him to keep up the 352 average, but I mean, I think he'll keep up the 13 stolen bases. So I mean, I'd have to give him a 4, probably 3.5, because he's also just so good defensively. So yeah, all 3.5, 4 for me.
yeah. I would probably have to say 4 or a 5. If it's anybody that I'm gonna give a 5 out of the guys we talked about, it would be Acuna just because of how good he is as a player, how good he has been for a lot of years now. He's been in the MLB 6 seasons already, and he's 25. So yeah, I would have to say I expect him to keep it up. Obviously, not the 350 like you said, and it's already down to 338. So maybe we're doing a little bit of foreshadowing, but uh, yeah, just whenever he come up against the Cardinals, don't do that. But hey, keep it up, man. Keep it up. He's doing good.
I'm a little bit higher on Acuna, and maybe it is biased because he is one of my favorite players. But I'm gonna give him a 5. I think we're gonna see a really top tier season from him. I think he's definitely my MVP favorite for the National League right now. Yeah, I've really been impressed with what Acuna's been doing this year. So I'm going 5.
Yeah, yeah, man. It's hard not to. Like I'm looking at his baseball savant page. Everything is above 90s pretty much, besides his outfielder jump and his outs above average. Everything else besides that is just all red. Like, and that's what you get with Acuna. You get 5 tool player, like put the ball in play, run fast, strong arm, good fielder. So yeah, I definitely don't knock you for having him as MVP favorite because I could see that. But yeah, we'll see if he keeps it up. I hope he can because he's exciting to watch.
All right, moving on to the pitchers here. We got Garrett Cole for the American League. Honestly, I'd give him 3.5. I'm not always high on Garrett Cole for some reason. I mean, he throws really hard and he seems to have good months and good stretches. But sometimes, like Addison said earlier, he seems to give give a few up every now and then. 4 or 5, it seems like, or they'll just hit home runs off of him. Um, so yeah, I'd give him a 3, 3.5, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll go second because I know Addison, you probably want to end off because I know you got a strong opinion about him. But yeah, I'll probably say I'm somewhere in the middle, like you guys said. Maybe a 3, 3.5. You know that he's gonna be a very, very good pitcher, one of the most unhittable pitchers when he's on. But like Addison said, he does get rattled sometimes. Uh, which I guess is like the only blemish on his game. But Yeah, I'm somewhere in the middle. I'm not really a Yankees fan, obviously, so I hope he doesn't do good when we need him to do bad. But uh, sure, he's doing good so far, so probably three.
I'm gonna go lower. I'm gonna go two. Because Garrett Cole literally to me was always one bad start away from having a 10 ERA for like the next month. Um, and if it's not Garrett Cole's fault, like he's also injury prone, number one, which obviously we don't wish injuries on anybody, but uh, Garrett Cole like might have a little hip issue tomorrow, and it's like okay, and then he misses the next month and a half, or if it's not that, then it's the Yankees are gonna Yankee, and you've got like Aaron Boone might just inexplicably sit him for like a couple weeks because they just make strange moves over there. So yeah, no, my confidence in Garrett Cole's never up high. So
Just to end us off real quick, he did pitch on the 7th, which was 2 days ago against the Rays, and he gave up 5 runs.
There
see,
you
see what I'm
go.
saying?
There we
Okay, 5 runs.
go.
His next start, he's giving up six. I'm calling it right now. I'm
All
telling
right,
you,
let's
he
see.
gets one bad game in him and he's done. He's rattled.
All
Okay,
right.
okay.
Moving on to Clayton Kershaw on the National League side. Um, I think he'll keep it up, honestly. His numbers are always sub three at least. So I think he'll keep it under three, the ERA. I just hope he doesn't get injured. So yeah, I'll give him a four. To Clayton.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and give Clayton a 5, man. That's a Hall of Famer. I know the Cardinals have got to him in the past. I know us Cardinals fans are like, oh, Clayton Kershaw, we're not worried about him. We know what we do to him, but like his body of work is just crazy at this point. In his career, he has a 2.48 ERA in 16 seasons and a one whip, which is insane. I think I gotta give him his flowers by giving him a 5, man. I hope he can keep it up. Obviously, the health is a worrisome part of his game at this point, but yeah, I'm gonna give him his flowers and give him a 5.
I'm gonna give him a four for only one reason that I wouldn't give him a five is because I think he'll do really great for the rest of the regular season. But as we all know, Clayton Kershaw does not show up in the postseason. So I think that would be really career defining if he could finally have like just a rock solid postseason. And that's what I'm looking for out of him. That would be my goal for Clayton Kershaw at the end of the year.
Yeah, that's fair. That's
All right.
fair.
Well, moving on to the Rookie of the Month, Josh Young. I honestly have not followed Josh Young or the Rangers much this season. Uh, so I'd have to go just right in the middle at three. I mean, maybe 3.5 because he's leading all these rookies and all these different stats like home run, RBI, hits, and total bases. I don't know. I think if he just keeps playing, he'll keep up the good work. He's also a rookie though, so you never know. The rookies might fall into a slump every now and then.
Yeah, I don't want to be that guy, but I might give him like a 2. Just looking at his baseball savant page, he strikes out a lot. He doesn't walk a lot. He chases a lot. He doesn't have a strong arm at third. It's just really he's barreling up a lot of stuff right now, and slugging is coming along with that. I know we talked about the average being at 252, but the on base percentage is at 299, which to me means he's not walking a lot. Um, so maybe he's due for some negative regression, but I do know that he's one of the top prospect or was one of the top prospects in baseball. So, with those guys, you can never really count them out. They do figure things out. He's 25, can't count him out. So I'm gonna probably say I'm gonna give him a 2.5, 2.5.
Yeah, I'm with you at the 2.5 spot. I really like his game, but he does seem to me like one of those guys that comes out of the minors just scorching hot, and then he definitely falls back down to earth.
Mhm.
And just the fact that he is a rookie kind of shows, um, or will show, I suppose. And I hope that doesn't affect him. I hope he doesn't, you know, I think he should look at what he's doing now and is like, that was really good, and that's where I can be. But like, I think he just needs to take things slow and take it in stride, and kind of understand that, like, hey, it's the big leagues. I was probably due for a regression. So
Yeah, I haven't really been keeping tabs on all the teams in the AL, obviously, but his OPS is only at 787. So I'm sure if another rookie had a better OPS than that, they would have won it. Obviously, the rookie on the other side had like a 900 OPS. So that's where I'm at. Like he's decent so far, but maybe it's just the lack of rookies that kind of awarded him that award. Not to take away from him though.
Yeah, no, I agree. Um, he might be like a Max Muncy type of guy. Strikes out a lot, also hits hard a lot. But yeah.
Yeah.
Moving on to Rookie of the Month for National League, James Outman. I mean, he's on the Dodgers. I think he'll obviously get playing time. He's got a 966 OPS, as you said. I think I'm big on Outman. I'd go 4.5.
Hmm.
With the WRC plus being at 164, which is top 15 among all hitters, not just rookies. Yeah, I go 4.5. I guess I'm big on him.
Yeah, I'm big on him too. I'm gonna have to give him a 5 because I think he's overperforming expectations. Obviously, you don't expect a rookie to be this good like that he's been thus far. Um, I'm sure the OPS may come down into like the 800s maybe because it's at 937 right now. I'm not sure if he can sustain what he's been doing, but I am high on him. He has been a top prospect for a while, and Fran, I don't know if you remember last year when we used to play MLB. Like I had a James Outman card on my Diamond Dynasty team. I love that card.
Yeah, I remember.
His swing is so nice. Like he runs fast, throws hard. So yeah, he's. I think he's a 5 tool guy. He strikes out a lot, but he also has a good eye at the plate, which kind of makes up for it a little bit. And when he does connect with the ball, he hits it hard and he runs fast and he has a good arm. So yeah, I'm pretty high on him. I'm gonna have to give him a 4 or 5.
yeah, I'm right up there at a 4 or 5. I think this guy's the truth. When I first saw him, like I said, he wasn't on my radar. So the first time I saw him was during the Cardinals series, and I thought he was like a free agent signing. I thought he was at least like a 3 or 4 year veteran at this
Mhm.
point. Yeah, he looks super ready for the big leagues. I think he's a stud for sure. I think he
Yeah,
keeps it up.
yeah, I agree.
All right, moving on to the last two players, the relievers of the month. First one, Felix Bautista. I'd give him a 4. I think he'll keep it up. He's always been a strikeout guy. Um, doesn't give up too many hits. And yeah, if he can keep up that whiff rate, I think he'll do pretty well.
Yeah, I'm right there with you with the 4. Like you said, he's always been a strikeout guy, but he's just been the best version of that so far this year. Like with, I think you said his strikeout percentage was 47, if I heard that correctly.
His whiff rate,
But
his
you know,
I have to check on that.
yeah, but yeah, I think like I said, 6'8", 285 in the ninth inning to close out the game for the Orioles. I think you're in a great position. Uh, very, very good, very hard thrower. I don't know too much about him, but he's still 27. I think this is his second season. So yeah, based on what I'm seeing, I'm pretty sure he'll keep it up.
Yeah, he's got
Honestly,
a 43% strikeout. Well,
yeah, still great.
Yeah, I'm riding the Orioles wave here. I really love what they're doing up there, and I think Felix stays hot. I'm with you guys at that
Yeah,
four.
man. 6'8", 285. He's bigger than LeBron,
Yeah,
and
that's
pitching like
imposing.
that. Yeah, that can't be nice.
yeah.
Can't be.
And lastly, moving on to Josh Hader. Honestly, now that he's not uh, in the same division as the Cardinals, I'd give him a 4.5, 5. I'd love to see him keep it up, um, especially because he is just top three when he is himself. Um,
Yeah,
so I'd give him a 5, honestly, first 5. I'd give to anybody. Josh Hader, I just hope he bounces back from last season and shuts a lot of people up.
yeah, yeah. I think the bouquet for his flowers isn't as nice as Clayton Kershaw's for me, but I'm still gonna give him a 4.5. One of the best relievers in baseball. I've seen it firsthand. I've been to many games where he's struck out a lot of Cardinals to end the game, and obviously seen it for a while with the division rivals and the Brewers. Um, yeah, we know what he is. He's shown us for a while, and a lot of guys think that hey, maybe he's done for or stuff like that. But for him to bounce back and be on that exciting Padres team and be their closer, I think that's good, man. So yeah, I'm gonna have to give him a 4.5. Honestly, maybe a 5, but yeah, 4.5.
Yeah, I'm high on Josh Hader. Obviously, like we talked about, we've known that Josh Hader's been that guy for a long time. So, I think if we if he's showing that he kind of could discard last season and just kind of chalk that up to being the fluke season, I think he's a 5. I think he's easily probably the best closer in baseball. So,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, man.
Well, we have ran out of time, so we would have to wrap it up here. Um, there were some players we wanted to talk about, but we might just have to leave it for next episode. Um,
Yep.
so you guys stay tuned for that. Thank you again for listening in on our episodes every week. Sorry about last week again. Um, yeah, hopefully it won't happen again. Probably won't happen again. It's just busy time of the year.
Yeah.
So yeah, thank you for watching for listening. Um, and yeah, we'll catch you guys on Friday as well for the second episode of the week.
Double episode this week, man.
sir.
Yeah. Well, have a good one. Thank you guys for joining me again. Um,
Yeah,
so
of course.
yeah, we'll see you guys on Friday.